Well, welcome back to my LS swap. We're coming to you from deep, deep below the surface of the earth. I just want to show I finally got the engine and transmission cross member in, and this took a lot of time, even though it doesn't look like it. But I want to show what I did here on this cross member. So as you can see, it had the old style transmission mount, which goes right under the bell housing, and it came up under here and bolted on way up here, which was really difficult to get in there. So ideally, I would like to get a transmission that had the cross member right underneath where the yoke comes out, the output shaft. That's super easy to make a cross member for, but I don't have that luxury right now. So here's what I did. Cut the ears off that went to the frame from there. Just left the perches in the rubber bushing, or whatever you want to say on there, that goes underneath. And I just made a new cross member. I welded it underneath, came underneath the frame, angle iron. It's uglier than a mud fence post, as they say, but overall it's going to be perfectly functional and just fine for now. It doesn't really hang down any lower than the suspension anywhere. It's pretty much level with the bottom of the oil pan, so no issues as far as that goes. So we're going to give that a whirl and hopefully just get this thing on the road. And someday next year, in the next years, I guess I should say, we'll maybe just keep our eye open for a transmission to upgrade, like a 5-speed or something. I'd like to keep the 373 gears, so if I could just get something with overdrive, we'll be in good shape. But yeah, so I've got the slave cylinder hooked up there to the clutch arm, and that's all done. Drive line is hooked up. Got this all bolted in, so we're connected engine to the rear end. So I'm gonna climb out of here and we'll take a shot from the outside. You can see where I'm at. All right, we're back on top now. So take a look at what we have. Engine's in there. She's welded in. We got some headers. We got the valve covers painted. We got the coil packs on there. I ended up having to buy another set of headers and mix and match 2 different sets, because this one, you can see it just clears the engine mount and the frame, and it dumps back in a decent spot. It would have dumped directly into the old cross member and it wouldn't have worked, but since I hacked that off, I should be able to kind of snake around that. But this side, it was dumping directly onto the clutch arm. So that was gonna be an issue. I didn't wanna take the transmission out and put a hydraulic throwout bearing, which you can do and get rid of that arm. I didn't wanna do that, so it was cheaper to just buy a different style set of headers. And the other side, what was different than this side dumps kind of straight down, kind of in between, I guess in between these. So it comes out just perfect. So between the 2 sets, I had 2 headers that I could use. It's gonna work for now. We're not making a show truck by any means. So we're just going for function at this point. Got a fan belt on there. Yeah, so we are gonna start working on the wiring. There's my box of wiring. So next couple of days here, we're gonna core a hole through the firewall and then run the wires everywhere. I got the starter in. That's down here. You probably can't see. You cannot. But yeah, starter's in, so we're gonna route the wiring, figure out what we have to do there. I do need to get a new manifold vacuum sensor. But we'll get that all wired up. And then I believe I'm gonna put the front end back on the truck. So it's gonna start coming together finally, which is gonna be good just for my mental state, just to feel like I'm getting something done, because it's just, it's tough. It's a tough one, so. But we're gonna keep moving on it. I bit off a lot here. I just keep telling myself it's gonna be worth it when it's all done. Hopefully the engine is a good engine, like I was promised from where I bought it. They said it was a good engine and it ran good, so fingers crossed. We won't know till we start it. But yeah, we're gonna keep moving here. Hopefully there's another video coming here in just maybe a few days with a little more progress, maybe the front end back on. We can start thinking about putting the battery on it and cranking it. And I also have a fuel pump that I got. Let me just show that over here. And I've got some fuel hose and some AN6 fittings and stuff that are coming so that we can get the fuel system hooked up very soon. So just bought an eBay special. I'm gonna roll the dice on it. Comes with the fittings and everything, so we'll get that wired in, and we'll give it a try here. Hopefully in a couple weeks, early part of May, bump this thing over and hopefully get it to fire or do something, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, stay tuned. We're moving along.